this computer. Okay, so I wanted to start by just mentioning something about this subject of dreams and sleep. Sleep to sleep, perchance to dream. Um, I often say that I learn a lot by doing this class, and it's really true. It's very interesting, and it seems absurd, but I mean, I really do learn a lot by putting this material together.
Hmm.
But this subject, I learned the most of all the different learnings. And this subject um, coincided with a few other things that are going on now. And it's too complicated to explain and it's too crazy, but um, I talked about the circles on the ceiling.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
so one of the circles was to sleep, perchance to dream. And I see these circles and they bounce into each other. And I realized that this subject is a very important subject for me. But I mean, I sort of thought it before, but I didn't actually, it didn't gel in my head. And when I started to put together the images, I said to myself, well, I'll add this one. I could argue, don't include yourself. I thought to myself, I'll add this one. And then I kept going with the other artists. And then I thought, well, I'll add this one. And then I kept going. And I said, well, I'll add this one. And then before I knew it, I had like five, six, seven of them, which
Hmm.
absolutely related to the theme. And it struck me that this is a big theme that I feel, and I can't entirely explain why, but it is. And I hope to say more about this uh, tonight. Um, so I want to just mention that next week I'd like you to bring in something either to present or that you've written. Um, and I gave you a list of subjects. Okay. So you choose the subject that you feel very comfortable with and to enjoy. And the writing or the presenting gets you to organize your thoughts and to pull out what you feel is important. Um, just choosing the subjects, just choosing the art that you find is important is it ends up to be almost autobiographical. Why did you choose this? Why did someone else choose that? Well, you may not know it now, but in 2 or 3 years, you'll know more. And in 5 or 10 years, you'll know more. So that's really what happens to me is that I choose certain things, and then maybe 10 years later, I realize there's a certain logic to this. Okay. And just what I'm saying to you now is I thought, well, there is a logic to this. And this theme, to sleep, to dream. Um, so, okay. So, do you have a question to start with, or just something you'd like to say? Because we have a lot of stuff to cover. Anything? Okay. So, I'm going to switch this screen to get the pictures. Oh, and I assume that you've gotten the images. I sent you a file with all the images. And that file was put together by Dean, who is on the roof somewhere as we speak.
Right.
And he's just wonderful that he put this together.
Yeah.
Really wonderful. So when you look at all those pictures, that's a substantial amount of art. It's full, like, big feeling. So I'm going to switch to this other screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So after I click slideshow, what's the next thing I click to make it full screen?
You can go all the way to the left, and it says
Okay.
play from the start, which will take you back to the very first
Okay.
slide.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And then you can scroll through.
Yeah. 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 Okay. I got it. Thanks.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So hopefully I'll get this right. Okay.
Here we go.
So this is oldies but
I
goldie,
want to see them all. This is
oldies
great.
but goldies.
Hmm.
Pretty crazy stuff. Um,
Maserati. Simon.
yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I kind of love this quick review.
it's amazing,
I'm
amazing,
really loving seeing
uh,
them again, even though
uh,
it's quick.
amazing stuff. So
Yeah.
we started with this one last time
Hmm.
for reasons of an introduction and personal reasons and the subject.
Hmm.
Okay. And I think we ended up um
There.
we ended up we ended up here. Okay, and then the next one was this.
Right.
So if you're new to the class, we had studied Antonio Lopez Garcia maybe once or twice before, and
Hmm.
we had studied this image, and in fact, that's the image that I sent Anne to Anne. The actually the recording of that class. So just to repeat, this is a relief sculpture, maybe about 4 inches thick. And um, what Lopez has done is painted this sculpture. Um, this is actually the first piece that I saw of this artist. And the color in this is very good, but a little too thick. It's slightly lighter and slightly more atmospheric. Um, so this is like the other pieces that you saw, um, not entirely flat, but it has overlaps of actual space and then space below it. And the colors are a little too saturated. They're less saturated than this. Um, so maybe the total color range is sort of like this, like this. There's more air in it, more lightness in it, but not too much, but just a little bit. Um, the piece is about 80 inches wide, so this is not small at all. This is a really major. piece of work. Um, I don't know how much to say about this. I think to just keep going, but I would say personally, this piece um, was very personally influential to me in that seeing this was not only very striking for itself, but introduced me to a gallery and a gallery dealer that was very significant. So um, I read the New York Times every day, and I think to myself, well, what am I going to read today that's going to turn me around? And usually nothing. I read it the next day, and I think to myself, what is it that's going to turn me around the next day? And usually nothing. And this could go on for like a month or two. And then I'll see something like a book that sounds interesting or a film that sounds interesting. I said, great, that's what I got out of this for the day. And so when I saw this reproduced in the paper, I thought, wow, this looks really striking. The review was a review of two artists, Antonio Lopez Garcia, and I'm drawing a blank on the second artist. But in any case, the second artist was also figurative, and if they had reproduced the work of the second artist, um, I don't think I would have gone to see the exhibit. I would have found it interesting, but it wasn't like rush out of the house to see it. Um, and so that's interesting that, what one chooses to reproduce and then what one sees. And in life, I think luck and coincidence play a big part. Um, okay, so let's go on to the next one. So this is the previous one, and this is the next one.
And
Uh,
this is your song.
and they're really, to me, quite connected, but
Mhm.
yet different. So this is mine, and this um, was one of four pieces that I did of this woman. Um, she, I encountered her. She was a student in a class that I taught, and I encountered her in this class, and I was very struck by her. So there are three others, and this was the third piece that I did of her. And this piece is about, I think, 59 inches wide. So it's about 5 inches, 5 feet wide. And I'm going to guess about 3 feet, 3.5 feet high.
Mhm.
So in doing the first two pieces, she spoke to me about growing up in St. Vincent, one of the islands near Grenada. And she spoke to me about what it was like to live there. She showed me photographs. We were very close and connected. And in this piece, I was trying to figure out a pose for um, that she would be taking, which I thought should be a pose of her sleeping. And uh, I couldn't figure out the pose. So I did a few, and I did one uh, more realized. So these here were all
Oh,
suggestions of what to do. And then I thought, well, that would be interesting to connect these various poses to one in particular. And these images are images of St. Vincent.
Mhm.
This is maybe a house that she knew about. Maybe it was her own house. I think this was her immediate family. This might have been her, and this her father. And I'm very keen on moons. I like moons a lot. So I put the moon over here.
Mhm.
Okay. And so I don't entirely remember if I had this in my head at all, but there's some connection between the two. And this is the cover of the first book on my work. And I asked for this to be the cover if it was possible, and they went with the idea. So the part that's interesting about this being on the cover is this book was produced by the University of Arkansas Press, and when I was very young, much very young, Little Rock, Arkansas had very big demonstrations and very big racial actions going on
Full integration.
about integration and all that. And this press was connected with the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville.
Mhm.
And so I always felt very good that they went along with the suggestion. And so that's the cover of the book. Um, so you see multiple realities in here and a forward backwards movement from forward and closer to back to way back to the moon.
Yeah.
And so this picture is located at the Smithsonian American Art Museum in Washington.
Oh.
They don't always show the picture, so um, I think where they show it, you can if you wanted to, if you went down there, it's shown nearby in a storage facility. So actually, maybe about a year or two ago, one of the students went to see it, made an appointment to see it. And he sent me a photograph of that. Maybe I could bring it up for next time. Okay, so
Simon, what's the title of that piece?
oh yeah, the title is called In Sleep, and the title comes from a poem of an Italian poet named Montale, Montale. His first name is Eugenio, Eugenio. And I believe if you look up Eugenio Montale and you put in sleep, you would come up with this poem. And I really like the poem a lot. So I thought that would make a nice name for this. If I can find the poem, I'll send it with the information on the recording tomorrow or tonight or tomorrow. If
Simon, can I also ask what year this was?
uh,
If
I
you
think
ish.
I think this was I think it was 1982.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I think 1982. Let me just take a look.
You have the book right there.
um, Let me just see. Um, It's either 1982 or 1983, something in that area.
Okay, that gives me a ballpark. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so um, this also drawing of mine, which connects with the previous one in terms of sleep and perchance to dream. Um, about the same width, smaller in vertical height, and uh, uh, very, very sensual, very um, strong composition and use of space. And this interesting form
Mhm.
here, and this form I had seen in an exhibit, and it was an exhibit of Tibetan art, and I liked the way this looked. And when I put out this material, I thought wouldn't be interesting for this form to be here. So this uh, deity figure was visiting this woman,
Mm.
a visitation. And I didn't think that much about it. I just thought that would be interesting. And I think that the this deity figure is called a Mahakala, but I'm not sure of the pronunciation of it. But it would be like something like Mahallah, Mahaklah, something like that. And the medium here is colored pencil, pastel,
Yeah.
and Conti crayon. So this is a drawing. The other piece was a drawing. I have gone through many periods of doing drawings only, and some of them very large, like this. So I'm going to go on.
What's the name of that one?
This
And
one, this one, the name is A. Uh, I thought it was a mysterious and interesting name, A. But it does present a problem because when I lose my train of thought and I think of where A is on my computer, and I look, I put up desktop, and then I think to myself, what's the name of this picture? I put up A, everything comes up, everything. Okay, it's a stupid title because I put up A, and I can't get this image. So I think the last time I did it, I thought, oh, and it's really difficult to find. So I think the last time I did it, I put up nude dash A. But really, so A. There is also a companion piece for this, which is not part of this evening, which is called Portrait of A.
mm.
Okay, so let me keep going. So,
Hmm.
um, oh, so this one I have never seen before. I only
Wow.
I only saw this in the display of pictures from the Marmottan Museum, and this one was done. Um, let's see. This person's name. I think this artist is German, His name is Ditlev Blunk, B-L-U-N-K. Ditlev, D-I-T-L-E-V, Blunk, B-L-U-N-K. And
It's pretty weird.
I think this is, wow, out of sight, just so crazy, so crazy. And Ditlev Blunk, his dates are, this is amazing. His dates are 1798 to 1853.
Wow.
So look at this. This
Oh.
and this.
Huh.
Okay, so a visitation. Uh, I'm not sure, a nightmare, a
Sexual.
something sexual, a fantasy, a
Yeah.
push and pull, um, attraction, avoidance, but visually very realized, but quite unclear and possibly disturbing, not sure,
Yeah.
but definitely a visitation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so okay, so this is the next one. Now, this artist, this artist is Fuseli, F-U-S-E-L-L-I. I think his first name is Henry Fuseli. I think the date's done really at a quite similar time. This is a very well-known painting. The other one, not so. Um,
What's the name?
I don't remember the name. I missed on that.
I think it's called The Nightmare
I
or A
think
Nightmare.
I would have guessed The Nightmare. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really extraordinary. I believe this painting is located in Detroit, and uh, I would love to see this in person. This is quite something.
It is.
Have
Is
any
that,
have any of you seen this painting in person? No? Okay.
is that a horse over there or?
It looks like a horse's head.
Yeah.
But it's this creature
Oh, yeah.
that is
Mm.
quite striking and relates
True
cle
nightmare.
clearly to dream imagery. Okay. So the next picture is this one, which is a painting of Balthus,
Right.
Balthus. So Balthus um, maybe passes away about 10 years ago and lives to be in his 90s. This is a painting of Balthus, sort of early, middle, but more early than middle of Balthus's life. Is an enormous painting. Um, I'm gonna guess 14, 15 feet wide. It's it's deeper than this. Uh, this is too lit up. It's deeper in tones. The tones of the painting are more like this.
Mm.
Um, it not as light as this, but it always seemed to me that this character here was a lot like this character. Okay, and a lot like this character, who I have never seen up until a month ago, or a little more than a month ago. This character. Um, I first encountered this painting in Rome, and there was an exhibit when we first arrived to Rome. There was an exhibit of foreign artists in Rome, and um, this painting stopped me in my tracks. It's so uh, compelling and disturbing at the same time. Um, I think he's a very, very interesting artist. Not for everyone, but very, very interesting. Um, Rene really disliked his work
Mm.
until there was an exhibit at the Metropolitan Museum where many of his paintings were on display. And what she thought of afterwards was that when you see them in person and you feel the paint and feel the compositions and what's going on here, it's much more complicated, much more mysterious. And I think she's right. Um, uh, it almost seems like a rite, R-I-T-E, some kind of strange ritual that's taking place between the two characters.
Hmm.
Again, the painting is deeper, really deeper. And in terms of how this is painted, a lot of this is scumbled on. So if you look at it for a while, you see layers and layers of paint. Uh, the topmost layer, then a layer below, then a layer below that. So it's a little bit like this, but the whole painting is like this.
Hmm.
Um, okay. So
Hmm.
just because I wasn't sure how many of you knew Baltus's work, this is another painting by the same artist, and the compositions in his work are fantastic, and the uh, conversations between the characters is very, very strong. And so this is the previous one, and this is this one. Um, it-
Which is later?
this one is later. This
Okay.
one definitely later. And curious shapes to the head, the cat.
Mhm.
The feet have very interesting shapes.
Mhm.
Very strange, really strange. Um, um, again, not for everyone, but personally, I think he's quite striking. Um, a certain kind of perversity about it that I have to say I find very appealing in a way. Um, but very complicated, complicated shapes and ideas. So this is a painting by Ingres, Ingres, very hard for people in Brooklyn to pronounce, which I include myself. Ingres or Angra, something like that. Um, and this is a curious painting of his that is more sensual, more erotic, more sexy than other paintings. And again, a visitation, a dream, um, the same theme, really. Uh, Ingres had uh, was a fantastic draftsman, fantastic drawer, and in his work you see very long lines, like this line, this line, and the lines go in and out of focus. In this painting more than in others, but in and out of focus. Uh, when I picture his work, I picture the lines being harder, stronger. They're actually much softer than I remember. So this is interesting because we already looked at this and it fits right in. This is by Casorate, and
Mm.
we already saw this painting before, but so you see the painting within the work of the artist, but now you see the painting speaking to other work, um, left to right, but speaking to the same theme and speaking with the forms that are Casorate. And I just I couldn't help but put this in. This really makes a lot of sense. All rounded up forms, um, whole dreamlike existence. What is going on? Hard to understand. Um, um, unclear and clear. Very unclear and very unclear. So simple, the forms, but yet so believable. So here's the one before,
Yeah.
and this Casorate. Fantastically interesting, I think, the juxtapositions.
Mhm.
So, as I said in the introduction, I couldn't help but think that, you know, after a while, I thought, drop this one in as well. So this is also mine. I didn't plan to do this. I didn't think I'm going to be in a series of uh, pictures of this subject. When I did these, I just did them. I found it interesting. Um, so this is about 68 inches wide. So it's like 5 feet and 3/4 by maybe 4 feet high. And all of this is gold, actually, gold
Oh,
leaf, gold leaf painted to sort of look like a Japanese screen.
right.
And this is painted directly, this area. And there's something that happens when paint and gold meet, which is fascinating. They separate. That one surface stays back and the other surface falls forward. And so because of this, uh, of what happens, the woman and the bed that she's on jumps at you in front of the screen. The painting is called Passage of the Moon. Here's the crescent moon here.
Okay.
And I think this was the screen. Um, well, I saw this screen in Rome, and it was an exhibit in Rome, a, a surprise exhibit that I saw of Japanese art. It filled up a huge space, terrific exhibit. And I was standing in front of these screens, and I saw this screen.
Mm.
And I thought, wow, what if this? Oh, I had done a drawing of this woman by a wall. And when I saw this screen, I thought, wow, this is amazing. What if the woman was in front of the screen? And so I think I either took some photographs or I had a photograph maybe of the screen. And I had worked with gold leaf before, but not a lot. And one of the things that's recommended with gold leaf is that when you put the gold down, you work it all at once, not in not in sections, but all at once. And I think it maybe took 10 hours to put down all of these gold leaf squares. So the gold leaf comes in squares that are like this. And the squares are extremely thin. They they're thinner than tissue paper, and they come a square tissue paper, a square tissue paper, a square, another one. And so I must have bought 5 or 10 packs of these. Um, Underneath the gold is red, a red color, uh,
Mhm.
like vermilion, like vermilion. And so this area, which,
Yeah.
which are clouds, I think, in this screen, the gold is scratched away
Ah.
to get the red that's behind it. Okay, and there is a um, there is a tradition in these type of screens to do the seasons,
Mm.
spring, summer, winter, fall, and celestial things, um, landscapes. Um, so there are certain reds in her that seem to talk to the reds
Mhm.
in here, here, here.
Neat.
And I love the fact that the nude seems to be falling forward, coming into your space. Um, okay, so that's oh, and this is called Passage of the Moon. Passage of the Moon.
Simon, is this in a museum somewhere that we could see or private
Thi-
collection?
This is in this is in a collection. It's a collection called the Center for Figurative Art, or no, I'm sorry, the Center for Figurative Painting in New York. So I'm pretty sure you can see this, but I've never seen this like by request. So I've seen this a few times because they exhibited it, and a few times because it's gone out for an exhibit. Um, so they are located in the 30s in Manhattan, and you'd have to write ahead to say that you'd like to see this painting. Um, I can give you some information about that, so it would help. Um, the man who bought this painting, he owns a lot of real estate in New York, and he's really involved in collecting art as well. And so he has a very large collection of figurative artists, and it's actually quite a good collection, and I feel very lucky to be part of it. Um, uh, this is the only painting that he has of mine, unfortunately, but in any case, it's really great that he has it. Um, was
Yeah,
there?
this was my first the first painting of yours that I ever saw when I was
Oh,
in college.
oh, huh. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's that. Thanks. That's great. Nice to hear. Nice
Yeah.
to hear. But in any case, in terms of the theme of this class for tonight, it fits fantastically into the theme. And uh, I could say a lot about this painting, but I want you to see more of everything. So let's keep going.
Can I just ask,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you use live model?
Yes, yeah, yeah. Uh, um, this is a very unusual pose. Okay. I can't spend more time talking about this, but a very unusual woman took this very unusual pose. And if we have time at the end of the class, I'll mention that. Just remember this. Um, okay. So um,
Yes.
this is a painting by a Swiss artist named Hodler,
Hmm.
Fernand Hodler, Hodler, Fernand or Ferdinand, Ferdinand. Second name Hodler, Hodler. So Ferdinand Hodler, I don't have his dates here, but I'm going to guess maybe 1850 to 1930, something like that. And this painting is called Night. And it's very long and wide. I'm going to guess 8 or 9 feet in width. I'd never seen this painting before. Uh, the man who was my gallery dealer for many years, Stemfley, sent me a card with this image on the card. And he said something like, "My instinct is you're going to respond to this." And he is a very interesting artist, um, underknown, even though in many circles he's well known, but underknown as an artist. And I think he was quite influential in European art. It's a fantastic composition, and in some curious way, this character here fits in with the visitations that are in the images 5 or 6 back.
Well, at first I thought it was just a blanket he was throwing up, but then you look at his face and you realize it's some nightmarish image coming at him.
Yes, yes, yes. So, um, you should look him up. He's a very good artist, and Hodler, Hodler, Swiss. So now Ferdinand Hodler um,
Oh, that's his
was it
too.
was a yeah. This is his as well. Ferdinand Hodler um, had a lot of different subjects that he worked on. Some were landscapes, some were nudes, some were just extremely distinctive, like the previous one. And then he did a whole series of paintings of his girlfriend, who was very ill,
Hmm.
very, very ill. And he might have done 10 or 20 paintings and drawings of her. And this is one of them. And they're extremely, extremely strong. I would love to see a book of that theme. I'm pretty sure that a book exists, but um, it very emotional and empathetic and tender and but so they're all done quite quickly, uh, like with a lot of snap to the paint.
Well,
Um, so this is one of them. So this is by the artist Redon, Redon, and very much a dream image. Um, First name of Redon is Odilon. Ordillon. Odilon Redon. His work is very moody, very mysterious, very much worth looking at, very surreal. So this is by a French artist, Vuillard, Vuillard. And this is one of the paintings that came from the Marmottan Museum exhibit. Vuillard and Bonnard, to me, somehow are connected. Very interesting use of paint and very painterly. Small shards of color and very intimate.
Why no face?
Not sure. I can't say. I don't know. This reproduction isn't good, but the one that you were sent is good. In other words, I made the correction. The correction was made on the compilation of pictures, but we forgot to do that to this one. So you'll see a better reproduction of this when you look at all of the pictures that was sent. So this is a print by Goya,
Mm.
Goya. I think it's called The Sleep of Reason Produces Monsters.
Huh.
This I've heard it called The Sleep of Pure Reason Produces Monsters. I'm sorry about this reproduction. You'll see it when you look through the ones that I sent, or that actually Dean put together. Now, uh, so just recently there was an exhibit of this picture at the Center for Brooklyn History, and it, not known to me, the person who owned this picture donated it to them, and she didn't tell me about it, and the center or museum didn't tell me about it, and I somehow found out about this, which was, very fortunate. And so this picture was the first picture that I did, which had kind of multiple realities running through it. So from this man to this world here to this world here. And this picture precedes all of the different works of mine that are in this presentation.
Mm.
And so all of these together made me feel, wow, there's a theme here that is important, and I just never put it together. So I like this image within all of this work because this is sort of like a waking dream, a waking dream, a dream in full light. So the man struck me as very interesting because he seemed neither in Brooklyn or in Poland, where all of these images were flipping out and flying through the air. So this was the first image that I did, and it was very interesting seeing this together.
Hmm.
So anyway, I thought to include this.
Yeah.
So
Chagall.
this is by Chagall, Marc Chagall, Chag, Chagall, All, Chagall, and uh, this is so daring and so romantic and striking, um, and crazy and childlike and really wonderful. Um, this character here, this one, is so amazing. And meeting this one, um, I don't know. This is striking. Um, I started to really respond to Chagall, seeing an exhibit of his work at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And when you see them in person, um, they are very intense and lush and have wonderful color and vibrancy to them. I think they really gain a lot by seeing them in person. So now, I don't mean to, I don't mean to intrude on this class or this theme, but this seemed like, you know, this seemed like a natural. And not only that it seemed like a natural, but it also seemed like, to me, I don't mean to say this in a puffed up way at all. To me, it seemed like something I'd never seen before. But I must have seen it because I did it. But
Yeah.
it seems like I've never seen this before. What the hell is going on here? Um, so this one is about
Where's the moon again?
76 inches wide.
Hmm.
So that's like 6.5 feet almost. Um, these, the colors in here are a color pencil, pastel, Conte crayon, and here um, crayon, crayon,
Oh,
and um, um, wax crayon. Oh, and oil pastel. The wax crayon here is put down like a child would draw, which is called scratch out.
hmm.
So colors are put down, and then the images, the black goes over the colors, and with a toothpick or something that's very fine, you can pick out the colors, the black, pick out the black, and get to the color below. Um, I thought of these as um, pictures or images that as a child made me anxious, made me um, nervous, nervous.
Hmm.
And the train was a big thing in my life. Um, I lived, I lived in a different part of Brooklyn,
Mhm.
and in that part of Brooklyn, the train came out of the tunnel and rode along the street
Oh,
on an L
hmm.
to New Lots Avenue.
Hmm.
And then going the other way, going to Manhattan, I would say with my parents, I would go to the train. I'd go up the stairs of the L. Then the train would come from New Lots Avenue, make a stop at Saratoga Avenue. I'd get on the train, and in two stops, the train would go into a tunnel and go to Manhattan in that tunnel. And in those days, in the front of the train, there was a wheel, that you could turn and look out the window into the tunnel. So I would turn the wheel and I would think I was the conductor riding the train. Okay. And I was riding the train going faster or slower and so forth. And the tunnel's really creepy, like dark, dark, creepy stuff. Um, oh, and here's the crescent moon.
Yep.
And well, I've talked about this other times. What? Oh, um, which masks? Masks, very interesting idea. Masks, weirdly frightening.
Mm.
Um, okay, so I want to keep going. I want to show you all the pictures I have. So this is a painting of Frida Kahlo, and it's called "What the Water Gave Me." And so, if you know something about her life, you know that she suffered great physical injury, and she was, I think, injured riding a bus, and there was a tremendous accident, and a piece of steel went through her back. And she had many different surgeries for this. And she spent a great deal of time in bed afterwards. Uh, a spectacular looking woman. One of those people that never took a bad photograph. I mean, I mean, like spectacular. Not like Hollywood spectacular, but in a different way, spectacular. So she also spent a lot of time bathing and in her bathtub. And so I imagine these are her feet, and these are images that she sees in the water as she's in the bathtub dreaming. Um, I always love this picture, and maybe something of this picture uh, got into
Hmm.
that one.
Hmm.
Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe. I really like this painting. Um,
Hmm.
so this is another painting by Frida Kahlo. I think this painting was recently auctioned, like in the last month.
Hmm.
And so it's again a dream image where she's imagining herself, or she's thinking about this form here, and here she's in bed sleeping.
Beautifully.
Really, she's such a strong artist. These paintings are generally small. Uh,
Oh,
okay, this painting might be 12 inches high. Um, it is really stunning,
hmm.
super stunning, I think. Um, so she is thinking or remembering or dreaming, um, and this split in her body, in her mind, is trying to be evoked. Um, Many of these very small works are painted on copper.
Hmm.
And in Mexico, there is a tradition of painting very small paintings on copper. And that I think the copper or the tradition is called retablo,
Yeah.
Retablo. And the retablo idea is that a itinerant painter paints your wish or something that's personal to you, which is then brought to the church and presented as an offering to the church. And in return, the church or the spirits give you a reward. In Italian, the reward would be gratia ricevuto, uh, thanks received. It's a very interesting idea. It's like maybe it's a bit of a bribe, but in any case, it's very interesting, and it all of these ideas have a surreal underpinning to them. So she takes this idea and uh, transmutes it into her framework for art and comes up with this. I mean, it may not appeal to everyone, but I think it's incredibly stunning. Um, um, okay, so this we had seen maybe not as good a reproduction of this, but this is by Dorothea Tanning, Tanning, noted surrealist artist, and the whole thing seems like a dream. And you can pass from this frontal space through these doors all the way, way out, back. And maybe one could argue that this creature here is the equivalent of some of the creatures we've seen before. Um, um, it's quite an unusual painting. I just saw this painting in Philadelphia, and Renee said that she was reading about the painting, and she said that this woman was, very bohemian, and when she prepared dinner and served dinner, she served it in this costume. Really, really striking. Very,
Yeah.
very, you know, quite something.
Hmm.
I think she was a partner of Max Ernst for a while.
Say of who?
Max Ernst.
Max Ernst.
Well, that would make sense.
You sure it was this one, this woman?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to look that up. I think it.
He had more than one.
Okay. All right. Let's look that up. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. Okay. This is one that I had never come across, and I know this artist's work very well. So this is by Dürer, Durer, great German artist, great draftsman. So Dürer has a dream uh, of a deluge, a rain to end all rains. Wakes up in the morning and draws this. This is the dream he had. My guess is that this is on the small side, but it's a very interesting idea. Okay, so this is also by Dürer, and this is an engraving called Melancholia. Melancholia. And this is very small. I would say I have a fairly large computer here. I would say that on my computer, this is probably life size. So I'm going to guess this is about 11 inches high, maybe tops 12. I'm going to say 10 or 11 inches high. This is to get all of this in 11 inches is something else. So this is a very well-known engraving image, and the thought is that Dürer imagines that this person is a kind of goddess of art. And all of these objects of measurement of different aspects of thinking and philosophy and so forth are part of what this person is thinking about. And besides the joy of art and the excitement of art, there is the mystery and the I guess the sense that you're not coming up with what the art should be, the the dissatisfaction, the um, puzzlement, or the melancholy, the melancholy. So these are all instruments of measurement, or mathematical measurement, time, um, and they're all done by a Buren engraving, carving into copper. This is a pretty good reproduction of this. I would say that the image is very slightly darker than this, but it's a very good reproduction. So all of the lines create tone, and all of the lines are cross-hatched, dots, all kinds of graphic information to yield this form. I think that in this magic square, the numbers add up to 34. Okay.
14.
So this is by Dali, Salvador Dali, D-A-L-I, and deals with time, memory. Very, very small painting, much smaller than you would imagine. Um, uh, a testament to time.
Yeah.
This one I've never seen. I did not know until I looked at the images from this museum exhibit. So this drawing is by Kiki Smith,
Oh,
1954,
right.
born 1954, still active now, and it feels to me like a dream walker or dream floater.
Yeah.
I think she is primarily a sculptor, but I don't know her work very well, but I think she's primarily a sculptor.
Ooh.
This one is by a German artist named Alfred Cuban, 1877 to 1959. Many drawings, very small, dreamy, somewhat weird, like
Yeah.
like visitations. Alfred Cuban, K-U-B-I-N. A lot of presence.
Oh,
Um, so I think this is one of two of Picasso, and uh, so this is partially engraving, I think mostly etching, um, images of sleep, and again, this creature visiting during sleep. Um, a fantastic draftsman. And this drawing and the other, I think, a part of a series of prints which go under the name of Vollard, Vollard. And Vollard was his dealer, and I think commissioned a lot of these engravings.
Mm.
This is another one. And in the previous one, this is all line, cross-hatching, engraved, etched. And in this one, I think these tones are some type of aquatint, um, which is kind of like a wash, but it looks like a wash, but it's etched. This one is by Rembrandt,
Mm.
and this is very small. I would say 5 inches wide, 6 inches wide tops. Um, Etching and engraving. So the engraving line is thicker and more black. Like this could be an engraving line. The darkest lines are engraved. Um, I'm gonna guess this is an etching, this line. Um, so this theme keeps repeating. Um, this idea of visitation.
Mm.
Do you know the name of this piece? I have never seen this Rembrandt, and it's amazing.
I don't,
Like sleep. I'm just gonna look it up for
I don't know the name.
it's so good.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the name of this. Um, this one was in the exhibit that I keep mentioning from the Marmottan Museum. This is by an artist named Charcot, Charcot, 1825 to 1893. Um, so I think what these are images that he saw and drew in pen from images in a dream, in various dreams. And he kept filling up pages with these images. So they're all done very spontaneously,
Hmm.
but the idea is that it's a large page, not the size of, let's say, the drawings that I showed you of mine, but it might be, say, 24 inches or 20 inches, but filled up with all of these jottings and um, drawings of different uh, little vignettes or little scenes, and very interestingly done, scribbling, like very calligraphic scribbling, kind of very appealing.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure if this is the last. Oh no, this is the last. So this is by William Blake, and I wasn't sure about showing this because I could think of other William Blake etchings or drawings that were um, more more towards more easy to see than this. But then I looked at it more and more, and I kind of got to like it more and more. And I sort of thought that this character looked a lot like the Bellini painting from last week. The painting of the man, the older man, uh, the nude of that man. Um, uh, William Blake, very visionary and dreamlike images, highly spiritual, very poetic, worth looking up, very much so.
Hmm.
Okay. This one is oh, sorry.
Rose.
Sorry. This is the next to the last one. And this relates to the picture you saw before by Charcot. And this is by James Ensor.
Ah,
So this is a Belgian artist, um, quite surreal and quite ahead of his time. Um, and these look like all kinds of images from dreams or from
How do you spell his name? Ensler?
Ensor, James Ensor.
Yeah.
In California, in Los Angeles, at the Getty Museum, there is an amazing painting of James Ensor, very large painting called um, Christ Entering the City of Brussels.
Hmm.
Amazing, amazing painting. Like a really great painting. It's full of this type of images, massively large. This is very calligraphic and very, I don't know, full of life,
or death.
possibly. And this struck me as a good endpoint. This is by
Gross.
Max Beckman, and it's a painting, an etching of it seems to me of people falling off to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Uh, and everyone has their mouth open in some
Right, your hand up to,
different sort of way.
right.
So this took a bit longer than I thought, but um, would someone like to maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, would someone like to say something about any or all of these images? Seems like a crazy, wonderful grouping of life forces. Um, maybe I should go back to I could see all of you. Ah, okay. Anyone want to uh, give a thought or two about it? Len.
I'll make just an initial thought to kind of lubricate the dialogue, and that is your launch point for this class was the Hamlet soliloquy to sleep perchance to dream, which if you go back and read it is really not about sleeping and dreaming. It's really about death.
Yes, I know, but
which you mentioned. But as we go through this portfolio of work, there's not a lot of deep dive on death, I think. I mean, there's some hinting around the edges, but it's more around I'm asleep, I'm in bed,
yes.
and there's kind of more fantastical things going on. So I think it's worth just a little bit of extra contemplation around the connection between sleep and death. Sleep is sort of like a middle world, like a netherworld.
You're absolutely right. You're totally right. When I saw the title, the phrase, well, I knew the phrase. I thought it was about this theme. But then when I read about it, I realized it really wasn't about this theme. It's about something further, further, death. Um, but I like the ring of the theme. I like the
Oh, I
ring
love it. I love the
of the,
theme.
I like the ring of the phrase. And but isn't it interesting, Len, that this theme reappears over and over again?
Yeah, that's universal.
I find that so interesting.
Yeah.
These artists could not have known, like now, we have great knowledge of all this visual stuff. I I put it on I've put it on Google. Many images come up, and then that's how I knew about the show at the Marmaton Museum. But in 1850, there's no Google, so
Mm,
the artists are working pretty much on their own. In
yeah.
1650, very much on their own, and so but they've all come up with this idea, and that's got to say something.
There's a certain universal mystery to it.
Yeah,
Don't see it
it's
entity.
very compelling that they come up with this,
Yeah,
not knowing what each other are doing.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you too, especially.
Well, but I came to the realization that this is an important idea for me, but I didn't think of it that carefully. Many times I would think the nude, yes, I understood that, but the dream part, it just came to me. Um, um, Anyone else want to say something? Oh, Charles, yeah, Charles.
Yeah, Barbara and I are wondering if you are familiar with children's book, The, the Night Kitchen by Maurice Sendak.
Yes, I am. I am.
Because that picture you have with the mask and the train in the back that you did with the scratched off crayon really speaks to that book, I think.
You got it. You got it. That's really brilliant. So I must explain. Um, that's fantastic. I really love this. I can't wait to tell Renee this. The genetic pool of her cousins really got it. So I saw a play that Renee's students performed um, for a festival at the very end of October. And Renee read a children's book, and these kids had already created these masks and performed this play. And the play was Where the Wild Things Are. Okay. So I was invited to come and look at this, and the parents came and so forth. And it was like an explosion. It was like, this is to me what life is supposed to be: intense, explosive. I'm watching this and I think, this is incredible. I don't have a camera. I don't have a piece of paper. I don't have anything. I'm watching this. I'm thinking, this could make a great picture. This is really interesting. So the play finishes. The kids take off their masks. They're quick to take them off. The parents are all worked up. So I say to Renee, do you think you would do this again next year? And she said, yeah, this is a good one. I'll do this again. So the next year, I wait for a year. I like the idea. I wait for a year. The next time I have a camera, I have some paper, I know what's going to happen. So you're absolutely right. That was the start. But the rest is a fantasy.
Hmm.
Great observation. Thanks. That's great. Anyone else? Anyone else? Um, Carol?
Well, I missed last class, but I watched it, and I do think it's a universal theme, and I think that we all kind of put together these sleep and death and liminal kind of half waking, half dreaming, half sleeping. And I wish I could see this show in Paris, but
Oh, it's over. It's over. It was
well,
over. It was over in March. I looked it up. It was over.
okay.
Yeah, it looked it really interesting. Um, uh, anyone else? Oh, Mary, what about you, Mary? Any thoughts?
Uh, it's just such a rich subject. I was thinking, like Len said, about the connection to death, and I sent you a thing. I don't know if you got an email. It was because it was just the soliloquy from Hamlet, and anyone wants to look it up after, you might have seen it. It's that guy Andrew Scott does the soliloquy from
Oh,
Hamlet.
really?
And
Really?
it's 3 or 4 minutes that, like, I'd studied.
I didn't get it. How did you send it? By email?
No, I sent it. I thought you might not have got it because we've had some kind of block
I
between
don't
our
understand it.
voice. I don't know what it
Send
is.
it again.
But
Send
I'll
it again.
resend it. And if anyone wants to look it up, it's Andrew Scott doing the Hamlet soliloquy. But it's so incredible that I've studied Hamlet in high school and college, but when I saw that, I realized I never knew what it was about till I saw him do that. And it was so intense that it's this connection to this outer world. And so I love it. I love all the stuff, dream stuff. And like Carol was saying, the liminal space, that's fascinating to me. It's like, I feel like it's always happening around us. It's just a matter of we're tuned into it.
One more person. Would anyone feel like the urge to say something? Kathleen.
I was surprised how many have these creatures. I don't know if you call them succubuses or not, but the thing that comes to mind is that they feel like in some way they've done things that they're going to pay for later. They've been bad or something, and something is going to catch up with them.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought this up because I want to ask a question which is maybe slightly personal, but I'll ask it anyway. For the women here, I am curious to know if the visitation of the creature was something that you have experienced.
Yep.
Who said that? Who said
I
that?
said it, Carol.
Carol? Anyone else? I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. Okay. Rita?
I said in real life, not just in
In a dream, not in real life. That's different. In real life is different.
That's hard.
No, in a dream.
Yeah.
I hesitate to say I wish, but I haven't.
Good luck, Ann.
I know. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't want to say that.
Wait a minute.
No, but
Only
they are.
one-
Very-
Only one person has admitted to this. Okay.
Two.
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 Yeah,
Anyone else? Anyone else? Three. Three.
Yeah.
Three.
Oh, sure.
In college, it was a nightmare.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Just an interesting fact that doesn't quite apply to anything, but in Hamlet, Hamlet's father was taking a nap in his garden when he was murdered by his brother. He was sleeping.
Wow.
And death came upon him.
I love your retort, Rita. In real life. That's terrific. That's terrific.
Years.
Now, is that a man's fantasy?
Well, I would say yes. I would say yes.
There are men
For
painting
me,
this,
for me
right?
personally, but I think that the women's is more provocative. To me, it sounds to me more provocative.
Sure. It is.
But we're straying far afield.
Yes.
So I
Getting
think,
better.
I think
Great.
that this is a very good point to stop. You have to send me those images by
Monday.
the 27th,
Yeah.
Monday. Then
Okay.
I will enter them in sequence, and you could send one or two. Try to send one or two, not more, and to keep what you have to say to around 4 minutes or less. Um, what I'm struck by is how pared down many of you write. Now, either it's because I'm nudging you to think of it that way, or that's just the way you write. But the more pared down, the better. Um, and you have lots of different possibilities to choose from. And you even have the possibility of not anything connected to what I've shown. Nothing. Or you can do one that I've shown and one of your choice. So you have really a lot of possibilities.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't make you crazy, so anyway, I'm going to see you next week.
Great.
I've really enjoyed this very much, and um, I've learned a lot. So I hope that you have as well.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
And if any of the women
Mm.
remember something from this week to next
We
week,
have a visitation.
please,
We'll let you
please
know.
write and tell me.
Oh,
Anyway, take care of yourself.
good night,
See you
everybody.
next week.
Bye.
See you
Night.
next week.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Hold on, Ann. Hold on.
So Simon, I forgot what day it was. I actually have to go help my neighbors
Oh, okay. Okay.
move some things out, but I'll come in early like I normally do next time if you want to or chat or
Come in,
I'll come in early.
come in even a bit earlier. Like
Okay,
if
I
you
can
don't
totally do
mind,
that.
come in at say 6:30.
Perfect. I can do
Okay.
that.
Great.
Yep.
I'm glad you saw all that.
Yes, yes. I would love that you sent me that. And it's been I was a little bit sick on Monday and so I didn't respond or anything, but I do want to talk to you about it.
I sent it to you for a reason, which is that the about a half-hour introduction connects my voyage with Lopez.
with Lopez, yes.
And I feel very fortunate by that.
Yep.
And the arrangement with that gallery
Yeah.
was like millions to one.
Well, you said, yeah, luck and circumstance are, you just have to be
Yeah.
present,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
thought you would find that interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely did. And I
Yeah.
definitely want to talk more about it. So I'll
So-
pop in earlier, 6:30-ish next
Great,
time.
great. Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.